cake today. So I've already preheated my oven at 180 degrees, and I have also greased and lined my 5 tins. Obviously these are quite thin because it's going to be a 5-layer cake. So yeah, let's get cracking. So first of all, we need to cream together the margarine and the caster sugar. So we need 450 grams of caster sugar and 450 grams of margarine. So we're going to start by doing that. Always need to open another one for the tiniest amount of sugar. And then pour it into our bowl. And then again 450 grams of margarine. We just need to add it to the sugar. I did go a little bit over, but it's not too much of a problem. So now we're just going to cream the butter and the sugar together until it's light and fluffy. So once that's all creamed together, it should look a little bit like this, nice and light and fluffy. And now we need to measure out 450 grams of self-raising flour, and that will just stay in the bowl for now because we need to add the eggs and add the flour a little teeny bit at a time. So in this recipe it uses a lot of eggs, so I think there's like 8 eggs in total. So we'll obviously add those one at a time with a little bit of self-raising flour. So now all the flour is sifted in here. I'm just going to crack the eggs in here one at a time with a teeny bit of flour as well. So let's grab a knife. So crack one egg. A little bit of the flour. And then combine it all together. Obviously you just need to repeat this step, an egg, bit of flour, until all the eggs are gone. If you do have a bit of flour left, just add that in at the end and finish folding it all in. So once you've mixed in all the flour and the eggs, you should have a really nice cake mixture. And now we just need to add in 3 teaspoons of baking powder. So just get 3 flat teaspoons, pop those in, and then we need 2 teaspoons of vanilla essence or extract, and then mix those in. So now it's kind of the fun bit. So you've got your 5 colours. So I've chosen to have blue, yellow, green, red, and then I've got this orange one because I had no more orange in those bottles. So now you just need to evenly distribute the mixture between these bowls. So just do a little bit at a time. and then you would just add each of your colours to them and mix them in. So now I'm just going to add a little bit of food colouring to each of the bowls and then give them a good mix. Obviously don't do too much at a time, so then you can add more to the desired colour that you want. So I might add a little bit more green in a second, but just make sure all of the cake mixture has changed colour. So I'm going to do yellow. So I did actually have to use quite a bit of green in this bowl, probably like half the tub, but I think I'm just a little bit fussy with the colour. But this yellow is very nice, more like an orangey yellow, but mix it all in and see what happens. So now we've got all the colours mixed in, we're just going to add them to the tins. So make sure they're evenly spread. So now we've got the tins filled, they need to go into the oven. Again, it's been preheated at 180 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. Just make sure it's springy, and if you put a screw, not a screw, what are they called? A stick in the middle and it comes out clean, then it's done. So whilst the cakes are in the oven cooking, I've just put in 285 grams of unsalted butter. I'm just going to soften it a little bit ready for the buttercream, just because I find it much easier to make a smoother buttercream if I do this first. So now it's been in the oven for just over 20 minutes. Ooh. You need to take them out and let them cool in the tins just for 5 minutes. So now the the butter is softened in the bowl. I'm going to add 575 grams of icing sugar. So then I'll add the icing sugar to the softened butter to make the buttercream. I am going to add a little bit of milk to the buttercream as well, just 4 tablespoons. So now I'm just going to add the icing sugar a little bit at a time to the butter to make the buttercream. So the cakes are still cooling. As you can see, the colour has definitely faded a lot in the oven. So this is obviously supposed to be the blue one. But so next time it means, you know, we can use different types of food colouring. This is my first time baking it, so I guess it's an opportunity for us to learn together. This is obviously red, looks more like a chocolate cake, but the orange worked well, and the orange was the better food colour. It was more like a food gel colouring. So I think we might stick to those kind of things in future. So I just added 4 tablespoons of milk to the buttercream, and I'm now going to start assembling them in the colour order that I want. So I just started with blue, I'm going to add a little bit of buttercream in the middle. I don't want to use too much of the buttercream in the middle because it's got to go around the edge as well. My cake seemed to have risen quite well, so it's going to probably be quite a big cake. I'm now I'm just going to cover the cake with the remaining buttercream. It's very wobbly because it's a 5-tier cake, so just be a little bit gentle when you do it. So now we have covered the cake with the buttercream. There's no official decoration that you can do for this, but we've literally just mixed up some icing sugar with some food colouring. I'm just going to do like a few drips, if it works, just of different colours. Again, I am a mess. I'm not so artsy. And then we will see in a little while how the cake is when we cut it. So just to make the drip effect, it is much better if you have a bottle with like a little nozzle and you can squirt around the edge. It works much better like that, but you know, a spoon still does the trick. So the icing is still a little bit wet, but we're just going to cut it to see what it is like on the inside. Just going to be super careful because how many layers there are. And obviously how big this slice is going to be. Okay. And that's kind of the inside. So we kind of did like a nice icing sugar over the top of the butter cream, just to kind of give it a bit more of a bit of extra colour. But yeah, thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed.